Hi, Room 5. Welcome back. I'm back in Cammie and Teddy's TV room and getting ready to teach you how to draw a saguaro cactus. Now, one of the fun things about being at home and not being at school is we get to kind of do things differently. At school, I get to boss you around and you get to do everything my way, but you're at home right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to get any piece of paper and anything that you have to work on this project today. Our end result is going to look similar to this, but not the same, because we're going to do it a little bit differently because we're not together and we're doing things in a little bit of a different order and on these videos. So we're gonna work on just this cactus. We're not gonna worry about these circles, which is a writing assignment that we would do if we were in the classroom. So what you're gonna do is I am going to use a Sharpie, but some grown-ups don't want first graders using Sharpies, which I completely understand. So you might be using a crayon or a marker or even a pencil, whatever you want. And you're gonna wanna pause the video at different times when we are working on some of the little details. But that's the nice thing, is you can pause it and take your time. If brothers and sisters wanna draw along, or mom and dad, that's great. We will be working on our saguaro cactus poster. So the first thing we're gonna start out with is the sandy bottom of our desert. So you can see what that looks like. It's not a straight line at all. It is a squiggly line. So you're gonna get your squiggly line drawn, and then you're going to do some dots. And these dots are going to make it look like sand once you've colored it in. So it might not look like sand right away, since sand isn't black dots, but once you color it in, it will look great. So you might want to pause the video while you work on doing your dots. And you have to go really slow if you're using a marker, because you don't want it to look like little dashes, okay? So then the next part that we're gonna do is we're gonna draw our cactus body. And remember, cactuses have arms. So you don't have to draw your cactus with arms if you don't want to. I always like to draw 2 arms, and I like to draw one lower and one higher. So it's kind of like your arms on your body. You can make it look like this. You can make it look like this, like a goalpost in football. Or you could make one down like this. So you can actually make your arms any way you want. So you could watch this video again and do it a different way. But we're actually gonna start at the bottom and at the top, which is kind of weird, because we're gonna work on that center part of the cactus that we learned grew first. So I'm going to work on, basically we could call it the trunk, and I'm going to make the trunk of my cactus. And then up at the top of the paper, I'm going to use an imaginary line with my finger, and I'm going to draw where I think the top of my cactus would be, like that. Kind of looks strange. Then I get to do my arms. And like I said, I like to do one arm up high and one arm down low. So over here, I'm gonna work on making my arm up high. And what you need to do is work on a U shape, because watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start right here, and I'm gonna make a U shape. And then when I think my arm's long enough, I'm gonna make a U shape back to that middle part of my cactus. There you go. And then I want to do the same thing on this side. So on this side, I want my arm to be down a little bit lower. So I'm going to make this line go down, 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 down. And then I'm going to do a U shape the other way. And then connect it back to my cactus. That might take some practice, so you might want to pause the video, practice a couple times until you get exactly the cactus that you want. The next part of our cactus, these are all options. So if you notice on this one, I did those white flowers and the red fruit. And they happen, of course, at the tippy tops of the arms of your cactus. So At the top of a couple of my arms, let me scoot up just a little bit, I'm going to draw some of the white flowers. So I just draw a circle and some petals. And maybe I'll draw one at the top of this one. And remember, they only open for one day a year, so that would be really lucky. And then I'll draw some of that red fruit that the cactus is known for. And to draw the red fruit, it's kind of funny. You draw a bowl, and then in the bowl you do zigzag, zigzag, almost like a broken egg. And I'll draw a red piece of fruit down here too. And you can leave that off if you don't want to. The next step that we're going to do is you're going to make your cactus into a hotel if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So on this cactus, you can see I drew about 4 spots. I have one that has an owl, one that has a nest, and then I have 2 that are plain black, which means they're empty. No one's living in them right now. So what you can do is decide where you want your holes to be. All right, so on this one, I think I'm gonna have a hole up here, and I'll make a big hole right here up in the middle. And then I think I'm gonna put a hole on each arm, one right there, and maybe one that's harder to see right there. And now you can decide if you want to fill your holes or if you just want to color them black. If you color them black, like this one, it will look like it's just that scab and that no animal is inside them. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 black. And then like it said in our story, it said that sometimes birds lay eggs. So in this one over here, I'm going to draw a little nest. And the way I make it look like a nest is I just make little X's. Kind of looks like a bunch of sticks going together, I guess. And then in it, I'll put some eggs. You could even make your eggs hatch if you want. You know, you can do whatever you want. And then I think I'm gonna put an owl because I liked that part in the story where an owl came in. And so for my owl, I'm gonna draw a nice round head. And then, you know, I'm not a professional at drawing owls. I really have no idea. So I know they have some big eyes. And I know they have a beak. And I know they have wings. So that's what my owl would look like. Okay, so if you want, pause the video and draw the holes and draw what animals you want. Remember, you could draw a rat or a mouse, a ground squirrel, all sorts of birds. So this is a good chance to stop, and you can even look back through the story if you want. And then the next step that we're going to do is one that I actually forgot to do on this cactus when I drew it. It's the folds of the cactus. So if you were to look up close on a saguaro, there's lines that run down it. In the book, they called them ribs at the end. The ribs are on the inside, but on the outside, it's almost like folds. It's like their skin goes on top of each other like this, because when they drink a lot of water, the cactus gets fatter and the folds have to stretch out. And then as the cactus uses up the water, those folds fold back in together. So we're going to draw the folds, and it's pretty easy. It's just stripes. So we start and you draw your stripes. I'm not going to draw too many, but you draw them all the way down your cactus like this. Mine are not very straight either. And you can, of course, pause the video until you're done with your folds. Now here comes the part that you are going to want to pause, because this is the most wild part, the spines. Holy moly, look at all those spines. The first way you have to start is you have to do spines all the way around the sides of your cactus. So little tiny dashes. And you can start anywhere you want. I'm going to start right here. And you draw little tiny dashes all the way around the cactus. All the way down to the bottom even. Because those are the little spines that prick out of the cactus. So you do that all the way around. I'm not going to do it all the way around right now because we would be here all day. Once you're done and your spines have gone all the way around your whole entire cactus, then you fill them in right on top of your folds that you just did. And I know that this looks crazy right now, but when you go to color your cactus in, it's going to make it look like they're gorgeous spikes sticking out all over it. And it will really look like that when you're done if you slow down and take your time. Okay, so pause the video and work on those folds and those spikes. And then come back when you're done, okay? All right, so welcome back. I hope yours looks better than mine. Mine is still only halfway done. And what I thought we would do is add just one little detail. Now this is a scientific picture. This is a real saguaro cactus. So I want you to draw the sun, of course, but I don't want your sun to have crazy sunglasses on or googly eyes or anything like that. I want it just to be that hot desert sun up in a corner, okay? And then when you go to color this today, I want you to think about this beautiful background of the Book Cactus Hotel because I want to see your hot sunset. And the thing about the desert is it is hot. So we want to use our hot colors like oranges, pinks, and reds to color. The other thing that some of us, I know, all my researchers out there in room 5 love to do is we love to teach about cactuses. So one of the things that we are going to, if you would like to make a diagram, if you want to stop right here, you can totally stop right here and go color and take a picture of your cactus and show me later. But the rest of us who want to do some labeling, you can do that with me right now. This, I'm going to draw an arrow to one of my folds. Okay, and I'm using this picture, which was from the Desert Packet, if for some of you who have printed it out and been working on it. And right there, we're going to write the word fold. Fold. Because that's what that part is called. Okay. And then we are going to draw another arrow and write spine. Because the cactuses have such strong spines. And that's why they're so great for animals to live in, because predators can't get to them through those strong spines. And then the other thing that we're going to draw down here is just like in the book, we're going to draw those shallow roots that stretch out really far under the sand, because only cactuses have shallow roots like that. Most plants have roots that anchor really far down into the soil, and cacti don't, because they need to suck in as much water as they can. So then down here, we're going to draw an arrow, and we're going to write those two words, shallow roots. Okay. And then if you would like to label your cactus, saguaro cactus, you can. Otherwise, you have some work to do because I'm expecting to see the best coloring that I have seen in a long time. And I can't wait to see how different all your pictures look. So go ahead and send me a picture of your finished product if you can. You can do that any day you want. You don't have to do it today. And I'll show you my colored one again one more time just so you get some ideas. On this, I actually blended, I think, 2 different colors of green together for my cactus. And for my background sky, I actually blended an orange and a yellow together. So you could do that too, okay? So that is your cactus for today. We'll be doing more desert work this week and learning a little bit more about plant adaptations in the desert. But I hope you guys had fun, and I'm sorry we're not doing this together, but I can't wait to see them. So I miss you. There's no place like home.